Okay, so welcome to the three viewers, 3,000 viewers. Yeah, this lesson, actually the method is patterned from the high school. We have to go back to the high school method, high school days. For the lecture, strictly we will be implementing the EOP or the English only policy. It's very difficult for me to just keep speaking in English, but this is the lesson, this is the subject that we are trying to explain, to discuss. So we'll not be using any foreign languages except for English. Now, before we begin, we will be using the I'm holding something. And the back cover is detached. The front page, the front cover has been lost. I don't know. I brought this all the way from the Philippines. I brought this to Kish Island in Iran. And now I'm still using this one. This is our thought of the week notebook. This one, I have a date here. Clarissa Pinion, she has a signature I saw earlier on. Complete. February 7, 2002. So we are in 2020. So this is 18 years. This is the thought of the week compilation during my high school. So before we begin, I will share a thought of the week for everyone as an inspiration for our live lesson or live lecture for tonight. I'll write it on the board. I'll be using the cursive writing for this thought of the week, thought of the night. I'll be using the cursive writing for this thought of the week, thought of the night. I've not used this kind of writing since how many years? Eugene F. Where? This was our thought of the week on our fourth year in high school. Thought of the week is something that will inspire the students every first day of the week, every Monday. It's given by Dr. Ponce, and we have a lot of this that we can use as an inspiration every time we do our live lecture. Okay, so let's go back. All glory comes from daring to begin. Anything that you do, if you don't dare to do it, it will just stay as a dream, it will just stay as a plan, and it's just everything is in the air. So without doing the first step of daring to begin this vlogging, this YouTube thing, then I will never achieve what I want. And what I want is to share whatever I have. vlogging, YouTube thing, then I will never achieve what I want. And what I want is to share whatever I have. Of course, I doubted myself once before venturing into this YouTube thing. I was cynical, just like any other. Maybe there are people who are thinking that who is this guy talking about stuff like this? But I'm daring to begin. I dared to begin, and I'm here. I doubted myself once. I'm into this, so let's finish everything. Okay, before I will delete, I erase this, so I'll put it there. Does it show? Yeah, you can read it. Because on my monitor, on my screen, I can see the reversed writing, the inverted image. So I can see from the laptop, all glory comes from Daring to Begin by Eugene F. Ware. Of course, this is very difficult because I'm talking alone and there is no interaction. I don't know who the audience are. No, who the audience is. Audience is a collective noun. So it should be treated as singular. All right, going back, I want to show my face. The difficult thing about this is I do prepare the lecture, I will deliver the lecture, I'll be doing the technical preparations. That's why there are so many glitches. You know, it's the first time I'm doing this and I'm gonna make it with your support, of course. Feel free to comment anything. Any question, any suggestion, so that we are interacting. I was waiting for Kylie and Ivan's comment. I want to make sure that they are tuned in to this first ever live video of their daddy. I want to show how I wrote this. This was how was my handwriting in high school. We almost have the same handwriting because this is how our teacher wrote. You know, the way she writes, but she wrote, but it's on. She's a right-hander, I believe. No, it's not clear. Is it clear? I don't know. So 24 minutes passed. We haven't started the lecture proper yet. We should begin in few minutes. What I prepared for tonight is a technical method in English, because I always want to assimilate engineering and English skills together. So whenever in engineering we do soil mechanics, we calculate how a water evaporates from a pool in a given period. because I mean in time, given the rate of evaporation and all other factors, the volume, those intricate and detailed stuff about, you know, the nature about engineering. Now I want to do it in English. Will be That's why here at TMEC we are offering Bachelor of Science in English Skills Engineering. I'm trying to coin things that will stimulate the neurons. Okay, I'll be focusing here. I guess we can start with the lesson proper. I don't know if ever this one is still a lesson in... Hi Kylie, thank you. Yeah, I got animated by the message, by the comment of my daughter, Kylie. Hello to you. Hello to both of you. Okay, back to the lesson that I prepared for tonight. This is the premiere, this is the launching of our online lecture in English 101. Remember, the last video I prepared was parts of speech. Parts of speech should be the primary and the first topic in English to be ever discussed to any student. You know why? Because these are the words that we always speak about every day. Whatever word that comes out from our mouth is classified according to the parts of speech. So if you do not have a good grasp, or you do not have a good foundation on the parts of speech, you can easily be swayed away. You can easily fall into the common errors. Like, of course, we are non-English speakers. We are prone to errors, prone to mistakes. But if we have a good foundation, and we owe this to ourselves, we learned English from grade 1, I believe grade 1, up to college, depending on the course that you took up. We always had English communications as a subject, minor subject, major subject, whatever course you finish or whatever discipline. So now, I don't know if this sounds new to everyone, or it may sound boring to others, but I chose this topic for tonight as the launching of my channel's online classes. I think I have to bring it closer to the board. There were a lot of comments one time in a video I presented that they said I need to bring the camera closer to the board. All right. So before we delete this one, let me read it again. All glory comes from daring to begin. Anything you want to achieve, without doing the first step, without working it out, then it's good as just a plan on the paper. Everything is in the air. All right? Okay. We're ready for our main topic for tonight, and that is sentence analysis. What is sentence analysis? If this is a physical class, then I could be asking, I can pinpoint. If nobody wants to raise his hand, then I can ask someone to tell me what is sentence analysis. Have you ever heard of this, or you're fed up of it? I never heard of this for quite a long time. And what I'm going to teach now is a mere recollection of a lesson almost 2 decades ago. And I hope my recollection will not fail me. I tried to review when I learned today that I can do the mobile live streaming. Then I said, then I'll go ahead with my live lecture. And this is what came into my mind to do the sentence analysis. Okay. I could have chosen our thought of the night, thought of the week as the example for our sentence analysis, but that's quite complicated because we will be doing some verbals and gerunds and all, and even I myself find it difficult. So we'll use this very simple sentence. Okay, we credit this one to Cervantes. Cervantes is a great writer, Spanish writer. Did I write it correctly? Did I spell it correctly? Yeah. Honesty is the best policy by Cervantes in his novel, is it a novel? Don Quixote, in his writing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I chose this sentence because it's very simple. It only has 5 elements, 5 words. So we have to go back to the parts of his speech that I discussed on Saturday, because we are going to classify each one of these sentences. Now, what is the importance of sentence analysis? If you know what is a word classification, then you will less likely get the mistake, be mistaken. Is that right? I'm running out of words. Okay. There are many ways to do the sentence analysis. I tried to read some materials, and they also do the graphic with the boxes, but that's not the way we will be doing here, as based on what I learned from Dr. Ponce. Okay. Roman numeral 1. General analysis. It's like we are dissecting a frog or a plant, for example, in biology. So if you have a rose, or I don't know if this is possible. No, I'll get something. Okay, we have a rose. If you're going to dissect this, the parts of this rose, this flower, we have the stem, the petal, the sepal, and the leaves. So in sentence analysis, this is how we are going to do. What is the purpose of this part? That's exactly what we are going to do tonight with sentence analysis. I'll return this. Sorry. Okay, letter A. Of course, it's the sentence. What is the sentence? Honesty is the best policy. Subject, predicate. So we already identified where is the subject and where is the predicate. It happened that the subject is a one-word subject. But this itself is the complete subject of the sentence, and this is the complete predicate. And we are going on letter A, we are going to classify the part of his speech, the type of sentence this is. So, this is a simple. Simple is the structure. But according to meaning, this is a declarative sentence. So this is a simple declarative sentence. So we already covered the two types of sentence. Type according to structure and type according to meaning. This is a simple, because we only see one subject and one predicate. This is simple, declarative, it's declaring. Declarative sentence. Letter B. Honesty is the complete subject. Do you guys see the board? Do I need to adjust it, or I need an interaction so that I know if you are learning or not. So we have the measurement. No, this is not the way to measure how you learn. Okay, honesty is the complete subject of the sentence. And naturally, this is the complete predicate. So, because we are doing it in a sentence, so we capitalize is. Is the best policy. And we just, right? Is the best policy is the complete predicate of the sentence. All right? So did we cover everything? This is the sentence that we are going to analyze. Honesty is the best policy. And we classified this type of sentence according to structure and according to meaning. Simple, declarative sentence. And general, the subject and the predicate. So this will consist the general analysis of this sentence. We proceed to, so if we have a general analysis, then we have a detailed analysis. General, detailed. So what consists the detailed analysis? Go back to the sentence. So we have 5 elements, 5 words in the sentence. A, B, C, D, E. So letter A, number 1, honesty. This is A. I will use another pen. Marker. I will use a red marker this time to specify the details. A, B, C, D, E. Meaning to say, one by one, honesty is the best policy will have a chance to be analyzed in the detailed analysis section. Honesty. First is to classify this word according to the parts of his speech. So honesty is what? Honesty is a noun, and I discussed before, there are different types of noun. Proper noun, common noun, concrete noun, abstract noun. Honesty cannot be classified as a proper noun, nor a common noun. So we have either concrete or abstract. But honesty cannot be a concrete noun. So we are left with abstract. So honesty is an abstract noun. You cannot hold honesty. It's intangible. And after stating its form, then we state the function. So honesty, how I wish I have a better handwriting. Honesty is the subject of the sentence. Function. No, I need to put it. Start it. Form. Function. So same is true with the letter B. So B is. We have two underlines. Is. What is is? Is is a verb. What type of verb? It is a linking verb. So is a linking verb. That is the form, and what is the function? Is used to link the subject and the predicate nominative. So here, anyway, I will discuss later what is the predicate nominative. But just to satisfy the procedure in identifying the detailed analysis of is, then we have to state its purpose in the sentence. Okay? Letter C, the. The is an adjective. It is further classified as a definite article. So remember, articles, there are three articles, a, an, and the. The is definite, you're sure. How can we, yeah, the best. You're the best. When you say you're the best, you are a best. Do you see the difference? Okay. The is an adjective. I don't know if it's still legible. Is it? Can you guys read this? The is an adjective. Further sub-classified as a definite article. And naturally, as an adjective, then its purpose is to modifies the predicate nominative. In engineering, if I discuss this type of lesson, everybody will what? Either they will throw me stones or tomato, or they will walk out. The modifies the predicate nominative, which is the policy. Okay? So letter D, best. Number one, best. I'm trying to maximize. I don't know. Maybe I cannot finish. Let's see. Best is an adjective. What type of adjective? I forgot. It's a descriptive adjective. Oh, sorry. I think best is a descriptive adjective. If you notice, best is well or good, better, best. So we have the superlative degree. So best is a descriptive adjective in the superlative degree. And its use or function is to modify best describes or modifies the predicate nominative. All right, let's try to fit this in. E, policy. What is policy? It is also a noun. And what type of noun is it? It is an abstract noun. Number two, policy is the predicate nominative. Policy is the predicate nominative of the sentence. Now, why do I have to know all this? You may question, you may ask. You know, if you have no idea about the word classes, the parts of a speech, the parts of a sentence, if you're going to take an examination, for example, civil service examination, professional, this is what I know because it's the professional examinations that I took. And most of the lessons, the coverage of the exams is English grammar, subject-verb agreement, usage. If you are not adept into this, if you are not trained, well-trained of all this, then I assure you, you will easily flunk. You will easily fail the examination. When I applied as an ESL teacher. It's a voluminous examination. I had to take TOEFL, TOEFL, all types of examination that has to do with the English grammar. If had I not have a good foundation of the words, of the parts of speech, parts of sentence like this, I could not have made it. I could not have earned 100 pesos per hour teaching Koreans, Chinese, English, Japanese. And in Dubai, if I don't have a good knowledge on this, I could not have taught my students for 100 dirhams per hour. So the thing is, what I'm saying is, those who are starting to learn this, then you must learn them by heart. Those who are forgetting about this, those who are setting this aside, it's never too late. You can do this because wherever you go, wherever you speak, you will need this. You will need a good foundation. I don't know why did I suddenly go lecturing on things like this, but we are not yet finished about the sentence analysis. So we have general analysis, detailed analysis, and what else could be? What else, what type of analysis do we need to do? Before I erase the board, then I need you guys to look at how a sentence analysis is done. Because I cannot write this again whenever I have erased it. Do we need a review? Do we need a review? No. If you comment, then I can communicate with you. Anyways, let me see. What does Kylie and Ivan say? Any questions? Did you understand or you just slept? All right. General analysis, detailed analysis, and of course we have the graphic analysis. We don't have a space for this, so I'm gonna erase whatever is written. Take a last look at this. Maybe I will delete the detailed analysis. So we keep the general analysis, and I will do the third part, which is the graphic analysis. I don't know if my classmates in high school still remember this, but it just dawned on me that I should discuss this. Okay, we're done with the detailed analysis. I'll use this space for the third part. Graphic analysis. Can you imagine a sentence going through all this type of analysis? Of course, in hematology, if you have a blood, they have to analyze, they have to check the type, whatever, all types of analysis. You know. So this is also true to a sentence. Okay. Graphic analysis is simply the diagramming part of sentence analysis. It's always my favorite because for how many years I did this, we did this. For 4 long years, our notebooks, it's a shame I don't have any more of my high school notebooks. But if I happen to have, then you will see a lot of diagrammings, okay? All right, so we have the base and we have the line that transcends the baseline to separate the sentence, the subject from the predicate. So as we analyzed earlier, honesty is the subject, honesty. And we have a linking verb is. Linking verb requires a predicate. So it's a predicate nominative. It's a predicate noun. So it's policy. You know, when the linking verb in mathematics, we can make it like equals. So honesty equals policy. That's the use of a linking verb. It links the sentence and the predicate. Predicate nominative or predicate adjective for that matter. And the policy is modified by the two adjectives. The best. See how it changed the sentence. Without this, honesty is policy. Just like that. What policy? It is the best policy. All right. I didn't get any question from you. Wow, Manay. Yes, these are abstract noun. Where can I see this? So time for the question and answer portion, because I need to sit down. So if you are a teacher, of course, you have a time to sit also. But I'm not a teacher. I always want to claim that I am an engineer, an English skills engineer. Because I do not have a degree. I don't have the units for education, like methods of teaching. You know, when I, during the first day of my ESL English, my teaching, the very first day, I was required to submit a lesson plan. So what does an engineering student know about lesson planning? But the head teacher clearly mentioned, without submitting a lesson plan, you won't be paid. Oh my God, why will I go here for free? Am I going to do charity here to teach the Koreans and the Japanese English? So I said, I honestly don't know anything about lesson planning. And I turned to my co-teacher, fellow teacher, and she happened to be an English major. But not to discredit her or vilify her, she's an English major, but her grammar is terrible. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a school factor or it's the student herself who had the problem. I am not perfectly a grammarian, but whenever I see, I had my daughter's module in Hele 6, and there was a cover page. It was nicely written by the teacher. I liked it. But when I came across a line that it says there, this may be sent by email or by, and I said, why did they say they didn't? Why did they overlook this? What, just one word? It's a 22-page module, but with just one word on the cover page with a wrong, with a mistake in the grammar, then it ruined the entire paper. entire document for me. Of course, others who do not care about the grammar, they just pass it, you know. They don't even know if it was wrong in the first place. Because if you don't really have a good foundation, then you do not know. They say that we are now in the digital world. We don't need this, we don't need that. But it matters still. It really matters. Even if you are an engineer, you are an accountant, because you are well, not versed, you're more particular in arithmetic, you're inclined to arithmetic intelligence, then you intend to set aside English grammar. But you look silly, you sound silly, and you sound unreliable if you're going to present something, and then your grammar is terrible, then I'm sorry. That really matters. In the academics, even in a small talk, you know, or if you're going to deliver a message. So this is why I want to learn more. Learning by teaching. I'm teaching to learn, and I'm learning to teach at the same time. So we are doing the engineering method, the engineering way of teaching English. Okay, so to wrap up what we have discussed for tonight, we simply had an exercise on the parts of speech for the word classes. A, B, C, D. So the 5 words. We identified their function and their form. Okay, form first. What type of speech? What part of his speech is it? And what was its function in the sentence? So shout out to the 4,000 viewers. I was really amazed because I was trying to, navigate on the YouTube, on my mobile, and this is long overdue. When I hit the 1,000 threshold, 1,000 subscribers threshold, I was supposedly able to do the live streaming. I tried using this laptop, but to no avail, until I gave up, and I just told myself I will make use of my mobile the moment I hit 1,000. But it took almost 2 weeks, and I discovered it by accident that I can do this by now. So in the next live lectures, I will make sure that there will be no technical glitches, and we'll start on time. We'll not waste anybody's time, and we have to learn. That is the primary purpose of this channel. Learn English. It's inclusive. It's on the first person plural. We. Because second person is you, and third person is they. We is you're just like I, and there are many eyes. There are many eyes, and then we make it we. How many minutes did we use? Did we spend for this lesson? 65 minutes. I think I want to extend some more. So I want you guys to write your questions. Comment your questions, suggestions, or anything about the topic that we just discussed. I think I made a mistake with the type of this. Yeah, it's enlisted. I think it's enlisted. It should be public for more. Yeah, it's unlisted, not enlisted. Had I made it in public, then there will be more notifications. There will be more subscribers notified. Because unlisted is only those who were given the link will be able to see this live video. But anyway, there's always a first time, and I'm glad those 3 or 4 subscribers stayed with me till the end. And I still want to talk. And I want you guys to ask a question. I'm thinking also to, during my, probationary, shall I say probationary, during my FEDUFA, no. I mean, still a newbie, but neophyte, during my neophyte days, I started this channel on May 18, and I got to, collaborate, not exactly to collaborate, but to exchange subscriptions with with some fellow YouTubers, and I get along with a lot of different contents, and there are some of them I saw that they really have good contents in English, and I'm looking forward to collaborate with them. There's one lady, she has a good accent, but for me, I don't care about the accent. When I worked in the call center industry, they always say you don't pretend to sound like you're an American, like an Aussie, because you will never, if your environment, if you live in the Philippine environment and you try to speak English with their accent, New York accent or the British accent, then you just sound silly, you become like a laughing stock. So just as long as you pronounce the words based on the International Phonetic Alphabet for English, and you try to enunciate and pronounce the words well, then you're good. So I really did not work on the accent side or anything. The only thing is to train the mind, because the problem with some non-English speakers is for example, my mother tongue is Ilocano. So if I think in Ilocano and then later speak in English, there will be a problem somewhere in the transliteration. So might as well think in English what you want to say. So this is what I always tell to my students. Whenever you're seated here, you have to train your mind, speaking in English, thinking in English. Like you're saying here, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the camera for my live streaming with 4 people watching from the other part of the world with 3 likes and 3 comments. Just keep thinking and just keep saying what you're thinking, then it just goes through naturally. So this is for speaking. I didn't take the IELTS exams, but I had this IELTS preparation course during my ESL years in Manila. So I had some tips. I could have applied that for myself if I take the exams, but I don't think I'm going to ever take this. Okay, so we are down to 70 minutes. I think we have to wait some more. I have a quota. This is why I am asking you guys, Timetians, to send me a comment we can talk about. I can, of course, start another topic, but that would be silly, starting another topic on top of another. because this is designed for, it's prepared for today. After learning that I can do this live streaming. Hi Kylie, what are you doing? Okay, now I think I have to use my children as my students and do this evaluation, or how do you call in teaching? Measurement and, yeah, like measurement and evaluation. Kylie, what did you learn from Daddy tonight? Grade 6, your grades, if you're grade 6, you should be well aware of the parts of his speech. Because I remember when she was in grade 1 or grade 2, they were doing the figures of speech. But I was thinking, if first grader, second grader, they're already talking about figures of speech. I'm just wondering, did they ever master the parts of his speech? Of course, figures of his speech is helpful, but for me, it is still better to master, to work on the parts of his speech harder. They need to make a focus. Because when I was in high school, I tried to talk to my classmates in elementary who enrolled in Cagayan National High School and at St. Paul University, St. Louis. And they have different English lessons. They have literature and all others, completely different from ours. But I said, why, for God's sake, we've been doing, we have a very, very thick book and everything about grammar. And now I just realized that was really effective. If you focus on grammar, you master grammar. So all else will follow. Because if you have this capacity in grammar, a good foundation, then you can easily write, you can easily speak, and of course you can listen. You'll know if something is wrong, if somebody is talking. So, what have you learned so far? I can even make a like a talk show, just talking and talking. I had a student, a Korean manager, something like IT manager in the airport. He's like between 40s and 50s. And he enrolled for like advanced English. But turned out he wanted to do the free talking instead. Because he said, actually, I need to practice more in speaking. I need to talk to someone, not necessarily a native speaker. Because if I do, with the level of English I have, and I will talk to someone who speaks, it's entirely different thing, then I'll get lost. So he really wanted to do this free talking. So I can do a free talking, all night long. I love talking. But not necessarily mean that I talk about nonsense things and about any others affairs, lives or whatever. I rather talk about English. I not waste my time criticizing somebody else doing. I'm done with that. I used to write my thoughts out on politics, on current events. And I realized what what does that what good does that do to me? I I'm not somebody else that people are waiting for my comments, for my grievance, whatever is happening there. I don't have a platform, I don't have a voice. So now I'm trying to do this for a more productive life in general rather than waste it. I used to play a lot for Candy Crush and some other. I just watch Korean dramas. I watch movies. And then when I was convinced, but by my flatmate, not I want to promote his channel, not an art, because he was doing this cooking channel, cooking vlog, and then he told me, why don't you make your own channel? And I said, I don't know anything. I don't know how to cook. I swim, those stuff, but I don't excel much. I'm just like mediocre. And then he said, he learned that I was teaching English then, and then he said, why not try to do the English? Do the lecture, do the this English thing. So I think I made the right choice, because in vlogging I read that if you want to do the vlogging career, not a career but just the vlogging thing, then you must have a content that interests you a lot, which is your passion. So what else can I think of than English? Okay, so next time I will be doing a live. I think I'll make it more alive and more interesting. And I want you guys to be giving the feedback in real time. I will actually save this for our archive video. And if you want to learn again what we just discussed tonight, then you can always watch this 77 minutes video. Of course, you can skip to the topic that you really wanted, because we had like an idle time of 15 minutes preparing all this stuff, and I was waiting for the viewers to come by, and in the end I only had 4,000 viewers. So if I was expecting for more and I didn't start immediately, then I could have not started the lecture tonight. All right, 2 more minutes and we are going off the air. Unless you guys want to tell me something, you ask me something and I will discuss it. So I will be meeting Manay's cooking channel. You can also watch check on my friend's channel, Manay's cooking channel. She has a lot of good recipes, in her channel, and I like her puto very much. So I'll be meeting with them tonight, and we'll have some friendly chit chat. So I guess I'm done for tonight, and I'm so happy you guys stayed with me. And I want you, if you cannot give me the real time feedback, then you can send to me a feedback. You can comment it later on, and from there I can either adjust. I am not sure, maybe I will be doing another live tomorrow, and I'll prepare something more interesting. And actually everything is interesting for me in English, because this is my passion. This is my aptitude. This interests me a lot. So this is the only way. It's only by delivering the topic, no matter how boring it is. So, I'm 80 minutes, that's 60 and 20. I think I should have, I need 10 more minutes, I think, to make it 90. Just 1 second. I have a friend who is doing a mathematics um, I have a friend who is doing a mathematics vlog. He's very, really, of course, that's his craft. He's very good. And then he told me that actually I hate English. You know, I know a lot of people who hate English because I came from the engineering team. They hate words. They love numbers. They play with the numbers. But if you can play with the words and you can play with the numbers, then you have an edge. Of, you know, I'm not claiming that I'm good about this, but you know, if you just have the interest, you know, even if you are not good singer, if you really, your heart is really there in the music, with music, then by and by you will be able to master. M-A-S-T-E-R, to master. M-U-S-T-E-R is another thing. Master. I mastered a lot of courage to do this YouTube thing. You know, I will work hard on this. So when I'm so when I'm already accustomed, what's other term for this? Accustomed to doing this live, I would like to invite some other YouTubers and we discuss things together. And you know, it's good to share ideas live. This means everything is spontaneous. Everything is like stock knowledge. But it's also good to refer to some reference materials. This is not our field of specialization. This is not the discipline that this is not the discipline that we chose to take during college. So we need to learn. But English is English is outmoded. It's never an outmoded subject. Meaning the rules that are true several decades ago are still true up to now. It's different in computer engineering. Whatever is true today, tomorrow may not work anymore. This is the reason why we are unable to have a license for ourselves. Because how can you compare a computer engineering graduate in 2007 to the graduates of today. Just like the cellular phone, 5110 in 2002, 2001, and now iPhone 11 Pro Max 2020. There's really a big difference. But in English, there may be changes. For example, this seldomly, as I discussed in the previous video, this is an archaic. You know, in the 1800, I'm not there. I haven't been there during that time. But of course, reading. In the 18th century, they were still using this seldomly as an adverb. But the scholars change and they just say it's seldom. So some claim that seldomly is still a valid word, but it's an archaic that doesn't give you an error. But I believe with existing, for example, in the British curriculum, they no longer accept this. So if it's not accepted, then technically it's wrong. So just say, I seldom use seldomly. No, you don't seldom use. You never use it. Adverb of frequency. 4 minutes. So I still have 4,000 viewers. I have to do it in public next time. I cannot change it. Save highlight. No, this is not the one. There's always a first time. During my first time to answer a call in the call center, I do the technical department. We do the repair of internet, mobile, not mobile, laptop, hard, any internet connection connectivity problem. But when the first time I received a call, I really couldn't understand because I am a Filipino and the client is an American, and I really cannot comprehend. I have this and I don't know. And I just realized that her problem was a filter problem. She wanted to purchase a new filter, and that has nothing to do with my department, which I should just transfer. Of course, that's what I did. I did transfer her to the customer service department, sales department, to process the order. But time to time, if you are not used to the, for example, the music, if you're not yet sure of the tune, the melody, then you could hardly understand. So when you speak with a Korean speaking in English and the accent is Korean, it's like she's speaking Korean, but she's actually speaking in English. It's the same thing for me, same thing for a British guy, same thing for an American. We use the same English, but we have different accents. So that's where the struggle lies. We have to practice listening. That's why I made a video for the 4 macro skills in English: speaking, listening, reading, writing. I used to write, I'm not a good writer, I have to admit that, but part of my daily job is to write, communicate to people. So I somehow enhanced the writing capability more than the speaking. I used to be a very fluent speaker. I used to do this extemporaneous speech. I used to do, join some contests for public speaking. And now, I don't know, just got deteriorated because of less practice doing the public thing. Because I'm now more on phone conversation and man-to-man, face-to-face conversation. So this public, this YouTube thing will for sure re-enhance my public speaking. I'm hoping. So we have 90 minutes. I haven't seen myself in Facebook, but I have a monitor for YouTube, but it's lagging. You know what's lag? Behind, Lag. Maybe some they hear lagging, but log. I don't know, lagging? No, because log is the log, the tree, the wood. Lag is, how do you pronounce? So we have to consult dictionary.com. They have this international phonetic alphabet, and it will tell if there's a schwa sound or anything. I struggle a lot in pronunciation. I don't need to state the obvious. Of course, you know that. You can hear from the the way I speak. I always consult dictionary.com if I am in doubt. For example, when I made the video for some mispronounced English words, I needed to verify with dictionary.com. For example, granite. I don't know why in the Philippines we always say granite. And because people keep saying this granite thing, it became like it sounded like it is the correct pronunciation. See, if you keep doing the same thing, like saying granite, then you will understand, or you will convince yourself that that is the correct pronunciation. But it's granite. Okay. So I think there are no more questions. Nothing to clarify from your English skills engineer. I always want to claim myself this way rather than a trainer or a teacher, because you can probably, of course, you can definitely tell that this is not the way a teacher should teach. And I adapt my own style, experiential style. I know which one is needed. I know which one is not. So we'll work together. I'm not sure if I can be of help, but I can only give what I have. So what I have is the passion in English, the good foundation, thanks to Dr. Ponce. Wherever I go, when she was still living, I told her, "Hi, ma'am," when I had my vacation, when I was already working in Manila. And I told her, "You know what, I'm doing this ESL thing. I teach Koreans, I teach English, Chinese, Japanese." And she said, "That's good. When I was in the US, I also teach Thailanders, So we had an assimilation." She was saying, "Yeah, I teach them also. I taught them before, and it's a good part-time for me. And I'm happy that you're doing that." And I'm sure she's happy that I'm doing this, even if I chose a different career, a different discipline. But what I haven't removed from my system is the passion in English. And it takes someone to influence another. So, having been influenced by somebody, I hope I can influence someone and change their lives for the better. Because if you speak English, you write English better, then you are better. You're better off. not better off, but you have an edge over someone. That's for sure. Wherever you go, wherever your feet take you, you will, of course, have an edge. You have the confidence. So, shall we hit 100 minutes or shall we go? As you can see, I really love talking. I can talk overnight about many things. Okay, time to say goodbye. See, if you are good in English, no, if you are good in music, and if you hear me sing an out of tune because I'm a tone deaf, you really get irritated. And if you have been trained for English grammar and you hear somebody speak, his own grammar, he will make use of his own grammar. Grammar means rules, you know. It is like simply just a moment. Let me just reply some. I guess tomorrow, if I had a good mood, I'll come back to the TMEC classroom and we'll try to discuss a good topic, something that I really wanted. It's very nice if we do the interaction. If there's an interaction, learning, I believe, is better. There's learning in interaction rather than me talking about. If I don't have the guts to or the mood to talk, then how can we deliver? Okay. All right, 1.5 minutes and I'll be getting off the air. If you have any other questions and suggestions, I'm here. I have a whole night. We can extend the whole night talking things off. I don't know if I am a credible source or a speaker for exams about civil service, but I'm just trying to say that what I'm trying to say is there is a big portion of the examinations, about subject-verb agreement, about proper usage, vocabulary. I read that vocabulary is parallel to IQ. So if you have a low, do it this way. If you have a low vocabulary bank, because they are parallel, then, so like, no, they are directly proportional, I should say. If this is the vocabulary bank and they are directly proportional, then you have a low IQ. But if you have a good vocabulary bank, high vocabulary bank, then high IQ. So what does it mean? We need to know more about word meanings. I have prepared a topic on vocabulary lessons. So we'll find out soon how can we do the delivery. Either we'll be doing the online, or the good thing about doing the online is I don't have to edit. I don't have to this one, whatever I say, whatever I can correct it probably myself during, but if I see myself when I review this video and I see myself saying something else, then I have to do the corrigendum or the erratum of the certain part. But if I do the shooting, I can just edit, delete that part, and put the better video, and I can retake it. But for me, this one is better. I have enough time to do this. I can do it. I can discuss the topics in 4 hours, several hours for that matter. I don't need to. I don't need to compress or compact a certain topic into, because if I target to make 5-minute video, I try to cut sample, parts of the explanation, because if I do expound the explanation, then I will exceed the 5-minute limit that I set for a certain video. But here, if you do the free talking, free delivery, free explanation, then I don't need to rush. I don't need to lessen the words. I can say all the words I want. So I guess we are 102 hours, 60, 90. I should have 2 hours, but 1 second. Okay, it was nice doing the first ever live lecture by the TMEC, the Marvel English Center. So, let's call it a day, and I will try to do another live video lecture tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Kylie and Ivan. I miss you.